I ended up at the park, but Diamond is sleeping. And I decided I just wanted to hang out for a bit. So I'm just here sitting. And I thought, why not do a story time? And I want to do a story time about Diamond's pregnancy. So I have to go back in time for you to understand the whole story. So basically, ever since I knew myself, I've always said I wanted 5 children. Oh, you're waking up, mommy? So I was blessed with Daniel. I was blessed with Dominic. I was blessed with another pregnancy in 2012, but that one had a miscarriage. I was blessed with another pregnancy in 2015. I had a miscarriage. So in the back of my head, I had 4, but there was one still missing. And honestly, after having the 2 miscarriages, I was kind of wary about getting pregnant again because it's not a good feeling when you lose the babies. It's not a good feeling. Although I always say that they're in heaven, God knows best, He knows why they didn't come forth. But I still love them, although I lost them early. I think both of them were 12 weeks. Yeah, but oh, and then after that, I left Jamaica. I left 2015. My spouse was still in Jamaica. We didn't reunite until 2018, early 2018. I think he came up the April on our anniversary, right? After he came up 2018, I got a job opportunity to work up north. So I left the September. So this job required me to work away from the city. So my husband and the boys were still staying in the city while I was working up north. I would only return home during the break, so like Christmas time, summertime. All right, so 2019 came. I came home for summer. I could say we were actively trying, although things weren't settled where immigration was concerned. But I could say that we're actively trying that summer. Nothing happened. Then the pandemic came. So that's December 2019. Yes, I did travel home. Then I went back. The country had shut down, so we were told that we needed to come home. So I was home from March to August. Nothing happened. And the truth, at that time, I had a change of thought. We were both thinking that, you know what's happening in the country, maybe it's not a good time. So we were wavering. We were back and forth with it. When I was leaving the summer, nothing happened. I know we were kind of disappointed, although we had mixed feelings about it. But I remember telling him, I said, listen to me. God is in control, and if He doesn't give it, I said, God, like the exact words I used to him, I said, God does not withhold anything good from those that He loves. All right, so I went back to work the September of 2020. Pandemic was still on. The December, I was unable to travel because there was travel restrictions, so I had to stay up north. So I'd left the end of August, and I'd not seen, I think I left the 26th of August, 2020, and I'd not returned home until February 12th, exactly. So February 12th. And the only reason why I returned at that time was because there were some immigration issues. I'll talk about that in another story. So I had to return home. My husband's dad had died just a few days before, so we had immigration issues happening. We were in a real devastating mood. It was a really rough time for us. But my faith had been built at that time that I was still strong. In the midst of all the storms that we were going through, I still had faith. I was still strong. I was still giving God thanks for everything. And I remember I came home the 12th. The 13th, I was tired, yeah. So nothing happened. The 13th, there was this big draw for immigration and express entry. I'd been waiting on this, and I knew that something was going to happen because I told my friend before. I said, you know what, something is going to happen and I'm going to miss it. I felt it in my spirit. It happened. I'm sorry, someone just passed with a bike and it frightened me. Okay, so it happened that it took place. The big draw took place and I missed it because my language test had expired. Oh my God. So Saturday we were all devastated. Me, my husband, the kids, my family members, my friends, everybody was so disappointed that we had missed it. But it was out of my control because I just got home to go do the test. Anyways, get back to the story of her pregnancy. So that was a Saturday. Nothing happened. I wasn't going anywhere. We were not in the mood. We were already like nothing was happening. The Sunday came, nothing happened. The Monday, it was going to be family day. I remember it was family day. So he didn't go to work. And I guess something kind of happened. Okay. After that, like I said, we were going through our issues. I wasn't going anywhere, so there was no need for us to be rushing to do anything. So it was just that one time for a week or so. And then, all right, so some of the issues were resolved where immigration was concerned, and I started making plans to go back to work because the door had been open, thanks be to God, and I was going to go back to work. But then it dawned on me, the 4th came, my menstrual cycle had gotten really regular. So it was on time. But then I was thinking, okay, you're stressed, you traveled, so maybe all of these affected. So I was there waiting. Then the 10th came. So the 10th would have been the day when it would have ended. And I was like, something is all right. So I had a test. I had one on hand because, like I said before, we were actively trying before. So I was there. I had a test in my drawer. I got up early in the morning. I think it was maybe after 3, after 4 in the morning. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this test because I don't understand this. I wasn't feeling anyway or anything. But I decided that I would do the test. So I did the test. And to my surprise, there were 2 lines. I didn't know if I wanted to cry. I didn't know if I wanted to scream. But all I know is that immediately I just started thinking, oh my God, am I going to lose this one again? Am I going to lose this one again? So I got my composure and I went and I told Dwayne. He was half asleep, so his reaction wasn't anything hilarious or anything. He was half asleep. I woke him up out of his sleep, deep sleep, to tell him. Maybe I should have done it another way, but I was so excited I couldn't wait. All right, the story is long. So it was confirmed. When it was confirmed, I'd only been home for 4 weeks, but when it was confirmed, I was told that I was 6 weeks pregnant. That's because, they check the last menstrual cycle in it and the ovulation week and whatever in it. So they got 6 weeks. So here I am telling my husband that I'm 6 weeks pregnant after only being home for 4 weeks. But of course with everything, explanation, everything, and he didn't doubt or anything. Yeah, so I was pregnant. It was confirmed. At that time we were doing virtual checkups, with the exception of going in to do the test. And I remember the doctor, when she called to confirm that I was pregnant, the question that she asked, she said, and what have you decided? What would you like to do? And I was like, there's no other option other than carrying my child. I'm carrying my child. It doesn't matter what happened? I'm carrying my child. And she was like, okay. And so we started making plans to do ultrasound again and all of that. And because of my age, she got me assigned to a specialist and everything. The visits were okay. I like I said, I made arrangement to go back to work, but there were some tests that I needed to do before I leave, so I asked them to give me some time to do the test before I'm returning to work. And after that, all the tests came back, everything was okay. So I made plans to go back to work now, and on the day that I was leaving, I went to the airport. The flight had delayed a bit, and then we eventually boarded. After that, after the plane took off, I was so tired, so I fell asleep. A couple of minutes, well, maybe half an hour into the flight, I heard the seatbelt signal come on, and then the pilot started saying, oh, get ready for emergency landing. There's an issue. We're having technical problems and whatever. I was startled, to be honest. I was startled. So we got ready for emergency landing. I knocked up a couple friends and I was like, come on, pray. Because I was frightened. I'm telling the truth. And then after that, he came back on and he said, okay, while they were preparing for landing, the flaps didn't come out. And I was like, oh my God. I started calling my husband and the children to tell them I love them and all of that. Because I didn't know what was going to happen, right? By the time we got to the airport, we landed fine. After a while, the flaps came out, God be praised, and we landed. Still emergency landing, but we landed. And we were there. They gave us vouchers to go purchase food and everything. I went to buy something to eat, and I was sitting there and I felt something that I shouldn't feel or I wouldn't want to feel based on my past experiences. So I went to the washroom, and when I went, I realized I was spotting. So I went to them and I told them I can't board the plane. I went to emergency. My husband came to pick me up at the airport. He brought me to emergency. At that time, no one could stay with me, so I had to go by myself, and he went home. I was there. They checked me, did ultrasound, however. So they said that I had subchorionic hematoma, which is to say that the placenta was separating from the walls. Of course, I didn't want to hear that. But I kept telling myself, you know what, my baby's gonna be fine. Because there was a song that I did for her immediately after I found out I was pregnant. And I said, I'm gonna stand by this song. I'm gonna stand by it. She's gonna be fine. My baby's gonna be. And I kept saying it every time I go to the doctor or anything, and they would give me a negative report. I kept saying, my baby's gonna be fine. She's gonna be okay. She's coming forth. She's my blessing. She's from God. All right, so they placed me on bed rest because of that. So I was unable to return to work. So since February of 2021, I've not been working because of the pregnancy. And every time, okay, so I did so many ultrasounds because sometimes I would go to the doctor for my checkups, and the heartbeat would not sound right, or the readings would be flatline, all kind of things would happen. So I was always sent to do ultrasounds because they wanted to be sure that she was fine. But I never lost faith. I kept telling myself she's going to come forth. So she's awake and here smiling. Hi, Mama. Hi, my darling. I'm here telling you of your pregnancy story. Yes. Yes. You're awake? You wake up? Are you getting chilly now? We're going to go home now, okay? We're gonna go home now. I think I'll finish this when I get home because I need to go home and feed her. I don't live far, maybe like 4 minutes walk. So we'll catch up. As you can see, I am very sleepy. I'm very tired, but I wanted to finish this video today, tonight rather. I wanted to finish it. So please see with me. I'm not even sure if I'm thinking straight or if I'm gonna know what I'm saying, but I want to finish it. So sorry for the sleepy look. So I was diagnosed with hypertension during the pregnancy. Well, actually, it was before, but I wasn't paying it any attention. And then when I was pregnant, every time I went to the doctor, it would be, especially my OBGYN, my pressure would be high. But when I went to the hospital, it would be low, it would be okay, it would be normal. I'd go to the cardiologist, it was okay, it was normal. So as a result, I started doing some tests called stress tests. So I had to go in every 2 weeks for them to check the baby's heart rate, and all of that, or movements and all of that. And there were times when I went in and the readings were not good, and like once they weren't good, I would be sent to do an ultrasound. But every time I would declare, my baby is fine, she's gonna be okay. It was a trying time, just because in the back of my head, although I had faith, the human side was there, praying, hoping, trusting that I would not lose her. Because if I had lost her, it would have been devastating. I was unable to work, as I said before, so I was at home. I had to take it very easy because the slightest little things I did, once it was kind of strenuous, I would start spotting. There were lots of things that happened with this pregnancy, but I just never lost faith. I kept declaring that she would come forth. No matter what happened, every time I went to the doctor, I remember I went to the doctor, and when they did the ultrasound, it showed that she was growing at within the 35th percentile. That means she was very small. Well, not very, but she was small for gestational age. And I was like, that's okay. My baby's coming forth. I just decided I was not going to lose, and I kept declaring that she would come forth and she would be okay. There was never any issue with her health, like developmental wise or physical, well, other than the fact that she was small. So all the blood tests were fine. I must say that I got the best care possible. I got the best care. My OBGYN, she didn't take anything for granted. She at times, she was so tough on me because I don't like medication, and there were times when I didn't want to take the medication for the hypertension, and she would get down on me. And yeah, but I thank her because at least I have my baby girl to look at now. Yeah, and all the doctors at the hospital, they were very good. The nurses, everyone. My appointments, that was a good experience. It was a great experience. I always say if I wasn't this old, I probably would have had another 1 or 2. I'm just kidding. It was a good experience. I'm not going to talk about her birth right now. I'll save that for another story. Thank you for watching. If there's any question that you have, if there's anything else that you'd like to know about it, please ask. Leave a comment. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and take care until. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support.